All right, friends, welcome back to Astrology Time with Aaron. It is June 26, 2019. It's a Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. We've got two T-squares going on today. All right, one of them we've been talking about all last week into this week, which is Neptune. Neptune's over here. Venus is down here. Jupiter's up here. Okay, so it's just like, Venus is in the sign of Gemini, and there's all of these things, and we're staying busy and active and talking about and excited about all the possibilities, and there's, and shiny objects and dull things. There's, here, this looks pretty over here, and ooh, that's kind of weird and dark and kind of cool as well. And then, there's emeralds and diamonds and amethysts, and then there's different microphones and camera gear, like that's the kind of stuff I like. Technology and all kinds of things. And then, distracted, I could go meditate by the water, or I could just do it right here in my yard, or I could go do this. There's all of these different possibilities. And the energy's saying, like, okay, slow down. Slow down just a little bit. Yeah, there's lots of possibilities, but we're taking the high road. We're taking the high approach. The other point of this, the other T-square that's going on today, I'll show you here, is the moon. The moon at 18 degrees caught between the north node down here in Cancer, the bottom of things, and all this energy up here at the top. This is, where we're going, big business and money and Wall Street, and we're talking the talk and walking the walk, and this big business world going on here. And then this is like, again, that mom and pop thing. This is the home, heart and home, authentic feel, right? So we have, the moon making this connection here to the north node, making the connection to the south node, this release, making this connection to Saturn, which is like we want to make this release very real. We want to make this release very real, right? Whatever Saturn touches, it wants to make it very real. Okay, so it's just like, look, you have to let go of these self-defeating beliefs. Self-defeating beliefs that you aren't enough. There's all this Aries kind of, Chiron and Aries energy, that you don't know, that you don't know the cure for yourself, that you have to look to some outside source. It's like, no, it's not over here. Nothing's over here in Libra. There's no outside source right now that's going to give you the answers. It's you. You're the one that's going to give you the answers. And how are you going to get the answers? How are you going to release? By not following this freaking world of big business and commercial advertisements, man. It's like sinking to the bottom here. What do you really need? It's not the Tylenol. It's the glass of water. It's not the product that you need. It's some freaking self-care and love, So that's what we got to give ourselves today. It's not being overly distracted by all this stuff. It's, the higher road, higher consciousness stuff, and that's what's going to lead to our own expansion. Not putting a cap and a limit on things, but really opening ourselves up and then sinking to the bottom, getting to the absolute bottom of things. And speaking and being and living in our own authenticity. Now let's go back. I'll show this one real quick time here. Is look, we got Mercury at 29 degrees. Mercury of 29 degrees Cancer. That means tomorrow, this is going to be moving into Leo, okay? So we're going to have a lot more fire energy. And on the 8th is when, so we've got what? Just 2 more weeks. 2 weeks of Mercury is going to be in 4 degrees. Mercury's only going to move 4 degrees in 2 weeks, okay? So Mercury is slowing down. Mercury is slowing down to start its retrograde. Now we've got Jupiter retrograde, Saturn retrograde, Pluto retrograde, and Neptune just went retrograde. Okay, now we're going to have a Mercury retrograde coming up in a couple of weeks, but we're not getting there yet. But the point is the information is slowing down. And we're going to be sitting at this 0 to 4 degrees of Leo, this fire energy, which is strong, strong fire energy. And that's coming up later today into tomorrow for the next couple of days. So we're going to be able to have the mental stimuli to get us through this next step. We're going to have the mental stimuli to give us the fuel, the fire, to drive us, home and with us with this that sinking to the bottom. It's just like when we're doing that transition, it's just like it can be difficult bringing ourselves down to this emotional place, and sometimes we want to like evade, we want to escape and say like I can't right now, I'm going to steer clear of this, I don't want to go to the bottom, I don't want to go to the depths, doing a cacao ceremony, and it's just like, okay, this is a very, this is a 3 hour long, this is an intense, transformational thing. And at first there was a couple people that signed up like, yeah, this is, I need that right now, coming for the solstice, this intense, this transformational evening of doing this self-care, self-love. And then last minute, a couple people pulled out and said, hey, I don't think I'm ready for this intense transformation. I want to stay how I am, because I'm in my comfort zone here. But that's not where they, it's an interesting aspect, but that's ultimately not where they wanted to be. Their initial spark was, I need to make the change here. I need to make the change, and that change is coming with self. Outside people, so when I said it's not, the Jupiter here aspect is the only outside source here, okay, of higher information. This is where we get together in the yoga classes, the meditation classes, doing things like ceremonies, things like that, okay? This is the kind of community-driven stuff that will help us heal, will help us bring the spark to self, but it's not like this Libra energy. It's not like it's just your neighbors coming over here helping feed you, feed your soul, feed you, on helping you with this next transition. It's you have to take the initiative to go to these things. Okay, you see this connection right here, this trine that the moon is making to Jupiter. We have to take the start to go to this. This exists out here. It's like, if I wanted to be a Kundalini yoga teacher, I can go over to India and I can learn that. That knowledge is there, but it has to be me that's taking the initiative to go do that. Okay? And if we're feeling the spark, if we're feeling initiation, it's about follow through. If we're saying, hey, something in my life needs to change, I need to do something for me to take the next step in my journey, it's following through with that. It's having enough energy to follow through. And then that's where I was talking about this Mercury stuff. With Mercury and its last degrees of Cancer today moving into Leo, it's just like mentally we're going to say, yes, I have enough energy to sustain the initial spark that I had 3 weeks ago when I said I wanted to do something different. I want to create this change internally. I'm going to not take the Tylenol. I'm going to drink the glass of water. I'm going to meditate and sit down and relieve myself of whatever stress is going on, instead of just piling the stress on top. We're relieving these things, but it's us taking the spark, us taking the initiation, and knowing that the information is out there. If we need to seek it, it does exist, but we have to do that. It's not somebody coming up and saying, here child, here, drink the medicine, or here's this book of knowledge for you, here is this, we're giving you this answers. And sometimes it happens. That's not what is going on today, though. It's just like, you have to go take this self and like, yeah, all right, I'm taking the first steps. Today, I was like, this is the first day of the rest of my life. This is the first day I'm starting my diet. I'm starting the keto diet, or I'm starting this next, challenge or whatever it is. Not drinking a drop of alcohol, I'm doing it. I'm doing a daily video. Today's the first day I start, sharing with somebody else, sharing your knowledge with the world, whatever. So, taking the spark, taking the self-care day. Self. All right. And then again, just coming back here for a quick moment. So all these aspects meeting the moon up here, high road. All right. All this energy down here, the emotions, we're going to sink to the bottom. And what are we going to do when we sink to the bottom with this? We take the high road up. Now Venus as well is this opposition, the high road up. The moon, how do we care for self? It's high road up, higher knowledge. What are we doing? We're letting go. We're letting go of the big business. We're letting go of all this crap the world has created, that we think that this is what, success looks like, and this is what a relationship looks like, and this is what this looks like. And it's like, no, the apple's going to fall to the bottom. We're going to sink to the bottom of this. All right? And this is us right here. And we're going to change. We're going to transform ourselves with this beautiful sextile energy happening here. This is, super big today and tomorrow. Okay? Super big on Wednesday and Thursday. All right? And even more tomorrow, guys. So we're going to tighten this up tomorrow and talk about these when the moon or the sun's 5 degrees. And we got an eclipse coming up too. Woo! Woo! So much water energy. All right. But you have enough. You have enough to sustain. You have enough mental focus to sustain whatever is going on. Okay, so the first part of the day is like we're emotionally moving through it. It's just like the last bit of this water, and it's just like getting out of that pool, and it's just like the water is just gonna drip off of you, and it's just like, okay, now we're back on our 2 feet, walking. You know, there's a different feel in how we're moving through this. We've got just 2 weeks of this kind of lit fire energy with Mercury, and it's going to retrograde back into that water Cancer energy again. So we're not getting out of this completely, because we're going to revisit this exact same space here in a couple of weeks. So remember this, before this eclipse, we're going to be revisiting the same area very, very shortly. So how we're feeling now on, in the end of June to how we're feeling in mid to late July into August, there's some correlations here. So like the self-care that we do now, what we're doing now for ourselves is going to pay off the reward, in July, August. So it's exciting. It's exciting to look forward to. You got it. Whatever's going on in your life today, you got it. Baby, you got it. All right. That's me for the day. We'll see you tomorrow.